I'm Jeremy Wade, biologist and fisherman. I'm used to hunting down the world's fiercest river monsters,
Fish on.
using high-tech rods and reels. Now I'm sailing out of my comfort zone as I go in search of the last of the world's great fishermen. Imagine a tribe that somehow catches fish using handmade kites and spiders' webs, who, instead of nets, weave a great garland of vines to bewilder and trap whole schools of fish, who swim in shark-infested waters, yet no member of their tribe has ever been killed. Half fishing, half magic, these ancient techniques are on the brink of extinction. And I want to learn what I can before they are gone and lost beneath the waves forever. I'm heading to a tropical island paradise, one of the most remote places left on the planet. Halfway round the world, the Solomon Islands lie like a necklace deep in the South Pacific, a scattering of nearly 1,000 stunning islands. My final destination, one of the most untouched parts of this wilderness, the Morovo Lagoon.
From up here I can really see why these islanders are such expert fishermen. The pieces of land where they live are just so tiny and insignificant, there really isn't enough space to support any kind of life at all. So the only way you're going to survive is by harvesting the sea.
I fish for research or pleasure, but here fishing is a matter of survival. When I was about 13 years old, I read Ernest Hemingway's novel, The Old Man and the Sea. An epic tale of a man in a tiny boat struggling to catch a huge fish on a handline. Now I want to use just a hook and a line and my bare hands to catch a beast of my own. For 3 weeks, I am going to live with the Vahole tribe, who have perfected a staggering array of fishing techniques. Many of their methods are found nowhere else in the world. They have a good claim to be the world's most expert fishermen. Handline fishing is a speciality.
I'm heading for a village called Tamaneki in the heart of Morovo Lagoon. I've heard that the people here worship sharks, and although they fish and swim in waters where these predators are common, they believe that they are protected against attack.
These are some of the world's most shark-infested waters, so the Vahole tribesmen occasionally hook sharks while handlining for other fish. But when they do, the revered animal is released. For me, catching a shark on nothing more than a thin, hand-held piece of line and a hook, and then releasing it unharmed, is the ultimate in catch-and-release fishing. The question is, will these mysterious tribesmen reveal their secrets to an outsider? This is a land drenched in mystery and all too often blood. Once known as the land of the headhunters, here rival tribes raided villages and cannibals ritually ate their victims. For centuries, the arrival of a strange boat could mean an attack. These islanders still have a healthy suspicion of strangers. Now I've been told they are all devout Christians. So I'm not worried that they'll eat me, but I do wonder if they'll accept me.
Hello. Hello. Nice to meet you. I'm Jeremy. Hello. Nice to meet you, Jeremy.
Roland.
Hello, Roland. Nice to meet you.
This used to be a British colony, so many of the villagers speak some English. This is going to be my home, and if I'm successful, my tribe. Visitors are rarely seen here. There's no electricity, and there are no roads. Around 60,000 years ago, explorers set sail from mainland Asia to colonize these islands. These are their descendants. Vincent is one of the village elders and gives me permission to stay in the communal longhouse. Privacy isn't included.
Right, well, this is home for the next couple of weeks.
I'm not sure if I'm always going to have the same audience, but it's quite a nice spot. Time to settle in, I suppose. Vincent, the reason I'm interested in spending some time here is because I go fishing a lot, but it's a very different kind of fishing to what you have here. And this is a big fishing village.
Yes.
And you know, a lot of different techniques here.
Yes.
There are still people who know how to use the old types of technique.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you a fisherman yourself?
Yes.
Okay, so you can show me some of it. Forget the fishing. It seems hooking Vincent into a conversation is going to be my greatest challenge. The tribe is probably as curious about me as I am about them. I get out some of my lures to show them how I normally fish. Oh. Every tribe has its own ancestral fishing areas, and as an outsider, I need permission to fish in the holy territory. And before I can handline for a shark, I'll first need to be accepted by the tribe. Vincent has promised that my initiation to tribal fishing will be in the morning. It sounds like the village alarm clock, so I guess it's time for me to get up. Vincent has sent me out on a fishing expedition, but I soon realise I'm the only man there. I'm realising that before Vincent will reveal any of the tribe's traditional fishing techniques, he's going to make me start at the bottom of the ladder, digging for clams with the ladies. A bit like an Easter egg hunt. You go out in the garden and you're delving around, except these are muddy shells. But what's interesting is that the fishing that I do is always, on the whole, pretty solitary, whereas, you know, here, although it's work, it very much has the feel of a day out to it. There's quite a lot of chatting and, you know, so it's enjoying your work. You know, if you've got to get food anyway, you might as well enjoy it. But I can't help wondering what the women make of my help. Do the men ever do this work?
Only the women do this job. Finding this type of shell, they really interested. Only the woman.
They're not, but they're interested in eating them,
yes,
are they?
In eating they are interested.
Right. But not actually doing the work to get them.
No.
Right.
Just to wait and eat.
Yeah. Okay.
But to find this type of shell, they are very lazy maybe.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Okay. In the searing heat, with no refrigeration, we take the clams straight back to the village to cook up a meal. This is the hand-to-mouth world we all came from. Oh, that was good, is it? Yeah, I think maybe the women are eating this before the men can get their hands on it. They've done all the work. Polish them off quick. The soup, the juice of these shellfish is fantastic, actually, really nice. Gosh, that's all gone. No, I've only been here a short time, but I mean, just today in particular really makes me feel that I'm becoming part of the community. Okay, I didn't contribute particularly brilliantly to actually getting this meal, but I've helped to tuck in and actually demolish the food. I seem to have gained some kind of acceptance from the women. Now I need to impress the men. Temperatures here often soar into the 90s, and with intense humidity, the nights offer little relief from the sweltering heat. Tonight, I'm trying once again to engage the village elder, Vincent.
This one is from South America.
This is really big.
And this one I catch on a...
I've spent years exploring the world's rivers, but I have very little experience with marine fish, and no experience at all with the Vaholi's unique methods.
What is it?
This one is a bull shark.
Traditionally, the sharks here were said to protect the people of the village and the people of the lagoon.
Is that something that, that people believe now?
They had something in custom to stop the shark from attacking someone. They call it pana.
Vincent explains that from ancient times, special sacred sharks have protected the tribe and guarded their lagoon from rival headhunters' raids. I feel I'm stepping into another reality.
Right.
And that
The Vaholi see all fish in a hierarchy, and at the very top are sharks. They are not merely the most dangerous, but also the most intelligent. If someone in the tribe accidentally hooks one, they cut the line. My hope is to bring one in, remove the hook, and then release it. But before I can tackle anything as cunning and dangerous as a shark, I have to win Vincent's respect and trust. This morning, the entire village is taking part in a highly elaborate and rare form of fishing. But instead of a fishing rod, I'm handed a machete.
We're preparing for a technique called the Kura, which is a very labour-intensive technique. A lot of work. The entire village is going to take part. But each year...
Two of the village elders, Vincent and Lawrence, are leading the preparations. We are going to catch enough fish to feed the entire village, using just some vines and the cooperation of the tribe.
Do the women ever help this job?
Yeah, sometimes they help.
But none here today.
Clearly, Vincent is a man of few words, and I'm wondering if I'm asking too many questions. After hours of cutting, tying and winding, the vines are ready for fishing the next day. Now, the entire village is going fishing in shark-infested waters. It looks like I'm about to test the claim that the tribe has immunity from shark attack. I'm not sure if I'm the fisherman or the bait, but I'm doing my best to look unconcerned. Hundreds of feet of vines are tied together to form a huge floating chain. This will be used to herd whole schools of fish into a trap.
What I'm amazed about is that this is not a net. This is just a, this isn't really a physical barrier. Well, it is up to a point. So I'm intrigued to see how it works. I think it's, there's possibly a bit of psychology going on, fish psychology. For some reason, they won't come past this.
Somehow this thin vine must scare the fish and drive them into the heart of the trap.
Right, we've now actually closed the circle. This is the end of one vine. The end of the other one is that way. So you can see now we're starting to get a double line of vines, and it's getting thicker.
The best spearmen in the village stand outside the circle of vines, ready to pick off any fish that might break through. It's a bump-head parrotfish. A great catch, but as the blood trickles into the water, no one else seems at all concerned. Bull sharks are often seen in these waters, and from experience I know their grim reputation as man-eaters. Sharks can detect 1 part of blood in 1 million parts of water, and the tribe and I plan to spend the whole day waist deep in the sea, spearing fish.
What's happening now is the finishing touches are being added to the trap at the centre of the ring of vines.
The noose begins to tighten. Normally, these would be fish that I would admire in an aquarium. Now, I have to kill them. It's a measure of my immersion within the tribe that spearing fish is becoming second nature.
Where I come from, if something looks pretty, you don't stick a spear through it. But I mean, everything looks pretty here. You've got to eat something, you've got to stick a spear through something. If you didn't do that, you'd starve.
The villagers only catch what they know they can eat. If they catch too many fish in the corral, they'll release what they don't need.
Which one? Which one's no good?
With no electricity or fridges, the fish need to be eaten straight away, or they'll rot in the tropical heat. Each fish is wrapped in palm leaves and smoked in a fire overnight. This feast will fill up the entire village. The next morning, as I see the whole village coming in to enjoy the food, I feel proud to have helped with the corral and to have been part of this living chain of tradition.
The steamer?
No.
Fishing their way is how I hope to earn the tribe's trust and respect. But the methods are growing more bizarre every day. On one island, I've heard about an incredible technique so fantastic sounding, I can't believe it's true.
I have to say, this is probably the strangest kind of fishing preparation I've had to do.
James is one of only 2 surviving men on this group of islands who know how to do this. He has never before shown this to an outsider.
This spider, he bite?
Yes.
He bites this one?
Finally.
Right.
This technique uses no hook. Instead, we're collecting a spider's web.
This spider for you. Right. Very good.
Full tight. Okay. Ah.
Finish.
Finished. Ready for fishing now.
Yeah.
And there's no rod. Instead, we'll be using this elaborate handmade kite, stitched together from banana leaves. James may be willing to share his secrets, but I'm the apprentice here, so I'll be doing the paddling. The movement of the kite causes the web to skip temptingly across the water. We're after needlefish. They hunt small fish near the surface and can jump out of the water at speeds of nearly 40 miles per hour. The theory is that the needlefish's teeth act as the hook, getting tangled in the fine sticky mesh of the spider's web.
The kite is up in the air, but getting it up is just the beginning of it. What we've got to do once it is in the air is get our position, speed, direction correct so that the lure just skims across the surface without swinging around in the air or being too deep below, dragging along.
I feel privileged to witness a centuries-old technique that only a handful of men have mastered, and sadness to see it come to the very end of its time.
Is that a fish? Yeah, we got a fish, we got a fish. That's very strong, yeah? No, not come off. Absolutely caught, that is. Looks like the wind has gone, actually, but my goodness, when the conditions are right, when you get this working, it's just so ingenious. It's so amazing, very, very clever. And to be part of it, to actually catch a fish without a hook, without a rod, just a bit of spider's web and a kite, you know, I'm not sure, if you just told people about that, I'm not sure if they'd believe you.
Even the smallest catch is shared out.
Here you go.
Hello, Vincent.
Hello.
How are you today?
Good.
Vincent is keeping an eye on my progress, and he selects who will be my fishing mentors to teach me the tribe's secret techniques.
Are you Morgan?
Morgan is an expert at handlining, which is the tribe's primary method of fishing. Eventually, I hope the tribe will allow me to handline a shark. But I have to be patient as I gradually progress up the fishing ladder. Morgan is going to teach me a technique called Kura.
Very close to the size of the hook.
Using just vines, a rock, and a lure made from a leaf.
And you just put it like this. Then you...
The idea is that the rock sinks to the bottom, carrying the lure with it. Then, with one tug, the lure is pulled free.
pull fast.
So when you pull, this comes towards the surface and this will just sort of flutter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel the eyes of the village on me. This is my first solo fishing test.
Just looking to see if I can just see a speck down there in the distance. It's coming towards me. I can't see anything homing in on it. There we go, a fruitless drop. Still nothing hanging on to that. Actually, a lot of energy goes into it, and not only do I not have a fish to eat, but I don't have something to take back to the village, so I'm getting behind with my rent, shall we say. Maybe wading.
Oh. Wow!
All right, it's not a fish.
It seems Morgan is beginning to trust me. He now reveals a very special fishing secret. This is haro, the ancient and traditional technique of cursing at the fish. After a few hours of totally fruitless fishing, I'm willing to give anything a go.
Right, see what you can do then, you useless, scaly abominations of this particular reef. You call yourself fish, you can't even eat yourself a piece of leaf. What's going on? Are you that pathetic?
Morgan doesn't seem impressed by the power of my insults, and nor do the fish. Soon, my frustration gets the better of me, and I really let rip.
You useless, putrescent fish. I've just... oh. Come on. Yeah. I think, getting closer. Yeah, oh, here it is. Bit of an anticlimax, but it is a fish, look at that. It actually took that lure, it took a leaf. So that is a fish that has come on a totally inedible bait, just purely a piece of leaf, a rock, human ingenuity, a lot of effort, and there's a fish. And probably, even though it's small, one of the most memorable fish I've caught.
This 9-inch trevally means just as much to me as any monster fish I have caught. And it takes me one step closer to my ultimate goal, handlining a shark. I return to show Vincent my catch.
Hello, Vincent.
Oh, hello.
Hello, I wanted to tell you about my Kura fishing.
Okay.
I caught a fish.
Yes.
I was going to bring it and give it to you, but I put it down somewhere. Someone's taken it, but I really did catch a fish.
Okay.
It was about that big.
Oh, that's good.
So it's a fish, but I can't show you. I think it was a type of.
Although I've caught my fair share of fish in my time, Vincent somehow makes me feel like a total rookie.
You just catch only one.
Just one,
Oh,
I'm
you should
afraid.
catch
Yeah.
some more, but
Yeah.
not many.
Not in that wasn't really enough. I
Yes,
think
Yes, yes.
I've only got 5 days left, and I'm still hoping to handline a shark. While I'm living here, I have to earn my keep and make sure that I'm contributing to the communal pot. But every day, the fishing techniques are getting tougher.
So, when I shoot the other,
Lawrence is a village elder and supposedly a crack shot with the bow.
you say when you shoot, they
The tribe has probably been catching fish this way for thousands of years. Mullet eat algae off leaves, so they're very hard to catch using a hook. Lawrence tells me that they tend to shelter in between the mangrove roots.
or any place where they can shelter.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
Hey. Hey.
hem, hem. On I'm getting.
Lawrence is one of very few people in the village who still use a bow and arrow to fish. I've got just a few hours to learn what Lawrence has mastered through decades of practice. Now it's my turn to hit a small, fast-moving fish while standing in a wobbly canoe.
This one. It really does concentrate the mind if you're fishing by whatever means to fill your own stomach. Got one.
Loka. He did it. Keep talking.
Lawrence fires in another shot just to make sure the fish doesn't wriggle off my arrow.
On top.
There we go. I have to say that I've got a dying fish in front of me, but I'm actually feeling very pleased. It's almost as if I've tapped into something, very, very deep in my psyche for this, and it is an interesting feeling. And it has got a certain rightness about it as well. This is food, and I've just caught myself some food. As I delve deeper into the life of this tribe, I feel I'm being swept into a primordial current that stretches back across the oceans for millennia. I want to find out more about them and their extraordinary beliefs. Is it true that no Vahole person has ever been attacked by a shark?
Yes.
So no, it's never happened.
It's never happened.
But strangers?
Strangers, when they are coming and stay with the Wahole people, they are protected.
So as long as a stranger is part of the community, part of the Vahole people for a short time, then the stranger is also protected.
Yes.
Lawrence believes that now I too have this special protection from sharks. I discover that while no Vahole person has ever been killed by a shark, 5 people from neighbouring tribes have been killed in recent years. Catching that fish has given me the reward I most wanted. The tribe is beginning to accept me. It also means that finally I have a fish to bring back to Vincent. My mullet is thrown in the pot along with the rest of the day's catch and some rice that they have bought from other tribes.
No, it feels very good. The children were all being very restrained, and then as soon as it's almost like a starting gun, they all just look at that. It's all almost gone. So that's very good to feel that your food is appreciated. So it does feel like I've made a real contribution here.
But I feel I'm being tested by the tribe, and I want to make sure that I'm paying my way. Underwater spearfishing is a fairly recent invention, but it now provides the tribe with many of their daily fish, so it's vital I master it. Morgan is once again going to be my instructor and guide.
This is going to be a very new one for me. In terms of fishing, we're talking really close quarters in a hostile environment. I'm going to be going under the water and trying to spear a fish. I have to say that one thing that's in the back of my mind is that if either Morgan or myself spears a fish, you're going to have a struggling animal under the water, possibly bleeding, or very likely bleeding, and this is water that's got sharks in. Now, the local people, as far as they're concerned, they don't get attacked by sharks. They do have this special protection.
I'm reassured by Lawrence saying that I too have protection. But of the 5 people from other tribes who have been killed by sharks in recent years, all of them were underwater spearfishing. Morgan can hold his breath for a couple of minutes underwater and immediately dives down to about 50 feet. It's hard for me to keep up. Morgan's a master at this technique and within minutes has his first kill.
We got a fish here, Morgan, second go I think, but we got to get in the canoe quick before anything comes in that might be interested in us.
Watching Morgan lets me see how the experts do it. Now, it's my turn. As I start the hunt for a target, I spot a moving shape. It's a white-tipped reef shark, cruising just feet below me. This type of shark is notorious for being very aggressive and attempting to steal speared fish.
My initial reaction was to point the spear at it, then it came into focus, and it's just a shark cruising over the drop-off. And I'm just thinking, you know, what am I doing? This thing's looking for a meal. I'm about to potentially, if I did get a good shot in, give it a sort of a bloody tasty offering, but I'm going to be very close to that. So, I don't know. I think I need to just get my breath back and get my pulse down a little bit.
As well as the circling sharks, I'm having real problems getting down to the depths I need. Over the next few days, I practice and gradually improve my time underwater and the depths I can reach. But the diving is physical and nerve-shredding, and there's the constant threat of sharks. Some sharks are even said to be attracted by the sound of a spear gun being fired. After a few days of diving, I've not got a single fish to show for all that effort.
Hey, got a fish! Got a fish, speared one at last! That's actually pretty pathetic. It looked a lot bigger in the water. Oh dear. Well, I've enjoyed some success with some of the techniques here, but I don't think yet that underwater spearfishing is one of them. Okay, I hit the target once, but in terms of a meal, in terms of sort of energy value of what I hit, you know, I think even the village cat would turn its nose up at that.
My pride and my credibility have taken a blow, so this makes it all the more important to succeed with my childhood dream of catching and releasing a shark on a handline. It's the most common form of fishing here, using just a line and a hook. No rod, no reel.
That's a bit of stingray, because that's what everyone says is the bait for sharks. And slight apprehension actually before putting it in the water, because this is a small, wobbly dugout canoe. You know, normally if you're fishing for sharks, you've got a big boat, you've got a reel to keep the line handy. Well, I'm going to be using a hand line, so I've got line around my ankles. Something could take off at speed. There's always the possibility that line will catch me.
I have chosen to fish in the narrow strait leading into the lagoon. The deep waters here funnel and eddy with the shifting tides, the perfect spot for sharks to lurk. Morgan is a man of few words and guards his secrets closely. So when he opens up, I listen.
Yeah, it's hard to catch.
Why is that?
because it's a different shark, not like a normal shark. The people who keep that shark, they can talk to that shark.
Morgan reveals that this spot is home to a shark that is sacred to the Vahole tribe, but he doesn't object to my fishing here.
Yeah. Here we go. No, I'll let it run for a while. I'll let it run. I think it might have dropped. It's dropped it, I think. Ha! No, that actually took the bait. The bait came off, and I've got a bit of coral instead. And soon after, there's another bite. No, I'm tightening. That's something on.
The cameraman is in a boat directly in front of me. If we collide, I could end up in the water.
The boat's moving towards you. Move the bloody boat. Move the boat. It's moving towards you. There's a shark on. I'm having real trouble holding the line with my bare hands. Real trouble. I don't want to wrap it around my hands because I'm over the side then. Right, the boat's now going, that's good. That's a bit of relief actually because... Right, the boat is now going. So when the boat isn't going and the fish is accelerating, I'm taking all that on my hands.
The line's like a cheese cutter on my bare hands, so I pull on a glove.
Put the glove. So I'm being very cautious. I'm just getting that line in slowly. Just constant pressure on the shark, tiring it out. Is it gone? Is it gone? It's gone. It's gone. What's happened? That's actually bit through the wire. That's bit through the wire. So I mean, that felt that was well and truly hooked, which it was. And so much for actually taking the hook out. That shark has taken the hook.
I finally got the chance I'd been waiting for, and I've blown it.
God. After all that.
I'm hoping Vincent can enlighten me about the mysterious shark that took my bait.
Oh, you mean the shark in Lingutu?
Yeah.
We call it Kiso Balingutu.
Kiso
Balingutu.
Balingutu.
You cannot catch it.
There's no way.
Yeah, sometimes you catch it, it break your line. Or else it break your hook. Even if you put a cable, a big wire like this, cut it.
Right.
That is something very spiritual, because we believe that that shark is very strong. You know.
Okay, right. So you're saying there's one shark there, which is the defender of the lagoon.
Yes. Because maybe you know that.
Vincent believes that what I had on the end of my line was no ordinary shark.
Yeah.
I had in fact hooked one that is sacred to the Vahole, which protects the tribe. Word that the sacred shark, Kisu Palingutu, bit through my line quickly spreads.
It's hard for us.
Lawrence, another of the village elders, is the man who taught me to fish using a bow and arrow.
The shark will come out.
He tells me there's something he can do to help.
We kon ngani, he wa omego re ni kan hini. So kon ngani we, ndebe na omego ria, ni kiwa mateo ngina ria wa. Kon omego nga, si kon watala pulego.
I'm profoundly moved by Lawrence's prayer for my success. Since I first read Ernest Hemingway's book, The Old Man and the Sea, I've wanted to catch and release a shark on a handline. With Lawrence's prayer fresh in my mind, I decide on one final piece of preparation. The hunter is going to meet its prey.
Normally when I go fishing, it's pretty murky, muddy water. I have to use my imagination to picture mentally what's down there. No need to use my imagination here. I'm noticing the breathing rate, the heart rate going up a little bit. You know, this is just, it's not conscious. There's that sort of gut reaction when it comes to sharks. You know what they're capable of. And I'm sort of putting off the moment a little bit. I'm enjoying watching them, but I'm going to have to get in there. But, yeah, interesting moment.
I'm at a nearby reef where they allow no fishing whatsoever, and where they regularly feed the sharks. For me, this is a chance to understand the tribe and the sharks in a totally new way. Every year across the globe, some 70 million sharks are slaughtered for their fins. Many shark populations are now critically endangered. But here, the people protect the sharks and in turn believe they are protected. I want to experience this extraordinary relationship for myself. This is baptism by shark.
Oh, talk about eyeball to eyeball. That's really, I don't know, it's really actually quite spooky. The clarity, I'm just seeing these slit eyes passing within about 3 feet of me. And they seem fairly unconcerned. It's almost as if I'm one of the shoal. But always in the back of my mind is this thing about sharks. You just know what they can do in, split seconds.
As I swim with the sharks, Lawrence's words play across my mind. Sharks have an exquisite sensory system. They are able to pick up minute electrical changes within the human body, such as the increased heartbeat of someone who's afraid. So perhaps the tribe's belief and confidence is actually what keeps them alive.
Talk about alter perception. People who know sharks always say that they're not these sort of frenzied eating machines of popular myth that just tear into any bit of flesh that's in front of them. And I mean, talking of myths, that is the myth. The reality is something very, very different.
The Western perception of the shark is far from the truth. This tribe sees sharks in a very different light. So if there is one place in the world that would understand my desire to catch and then release a shark, this is it. The next day, I'm up at sunrise, fishing outside the sacred passage. The tribe has given me a special rattle made from shells, which they tell me magically lures in curious sharks. I'm not sure if it's Lawrence's prayer, the shark rattle, or just good luck, but it's not long before something takes my bait.
Tightening up, tightening up, tightening up. There's a shark on. Shark.
Finally, I can feel the raw power of this predator running directly through my hands.
Oh, the shark's just seen us, That was a run. Gosh, that was a run.
I'm in a small, unstable dugout, and the shark could easily overbalance me and capsize the canoe.
Oh, this is when it could really kick off. It's circling. What it's doing, it's circling. Gonna get this line well clear of me. That's it, it's right under the boat. It's gonna run now. It's running, it's running, it's running, it's running. It's sounding, going down. I'm gonna try and just tire it out very slowly. I can feel a very quick pulse, dun 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 dun. I'm quite puzzled by the way this feels, but again, I'm not used to fishing a handline, I'm used to fishing a rod. what I'll do, I might provoke the shark a little bit more. I might just bring it up towards the surface more. Yeah, and yes, exactly. That's its reaction. What it does, it kicks. Okay, up to the boat, and it's a kick. That's a kick. That's pulling.
Handlining is exhausting, relentless work.
It's got strength, but
after a long duel, the shark is finally tired enough to land. So we can bring it in safely, Morgan tries to put a lasso around its tail. I've waited nearly 40 years and travelled halfway around the world for this exhilarating moment. I've landed a shark using the simplest of traditional techniques.
So there we go. That was the hook, corner of the mouth, barb crushed down, so that comes out easily. The shark is none the worse for wear in the mouth department.
It's a grey reef shark, weighing about 80 pounds. The perfect size. Much bigger, and I probably wouldn't be able to get it in this small canoe.
Here we go. Catch and release shark from a dugout canoe. I mean, quite an insane venture in some ways, but it worked. And yeah, what a great thing to do. Okay. You know, just a fantastic experience. I mean, you can keep your rod for this kind of fishing. I mean, this is, you know, for emotion, for excitement, for that hint of danger, and for that feeling of just incredible achievement. This takes a lot of beating.
For me, that had to be the ultimate in catch and release fishing. But perhaps, more importantly, my fishing skills, which the tribe have helped me to sharpen in my time here, have taken me deeper beneath the surface of their village life than I ever expected to go.
Bye-bye, everyone. Bye.
The simple and ancient art of fishing has unlocked a vanishing world and allowed me to immerse myself in the life of this remarkable tribe and its proud, deeply traditional people.
Got one.
I thought I came here to learn unique ways to fish and to fulfill a childhood dream, to catch and release a shark on a handline. Instead, I have plunged deep into a culture that has lived in balance with the oceans for millennia. Their lives are dependent on the sea and everything that comes out of it. I have discovered what it truly means to fish, not for research or for pleasure, but to survive and simply to be.